Alright guys, and today we're going to take a look at Peter David's Hulk Omnibus. Now there's a lot of them, so this is just volume 1, so we're going to start from this, the beginning. And I have read the visionaries of it, the first 2 volumes back in the day, and really enjoyed them. And then I just wanted to collect his whole entire run, which got quite pricey, and then the omnibuses got reprinted, so I figured let me go that route since I really like the deluxe format. And this comes with the issues Incredible Hulk 328 and then 331 all the way to 368, and then we have some other issues in there like Web of Shadows. I keep saying that because of the video game. Web of Spider-Man 1985, Fantastic Four 320, material from Marvel Comics Presents 26 and 45. And this is Peter David's kind of big push into mainstream. He was already making his name, but this is kind of what catapulted him. And I can see why. See, back in the day, back in this time, nobody really wanted to write the Hulk. Not that he wasn't a big character, he was, but nobody really had any fresh ideas for the Green Hulk monster. And Peter David did. Actually, if you read his insert here, it's actually really funny. He didn't really want to write him, but he figured, why not? And he came up with a crazy idea to kind of separate the two. Instead of making Hulk just a mindless monster, he wanted to make more of like a Jekyll and Hyde type comparison. And so the rough part of this volume is actually the very beginning. Is probably the roughest part because this is trying to wrap up what happened in the last run with Hulk. So it's a lot of like just thrown into the mix, and hopefully you catch on. You got the Hulk busters in here and you're probably like, who the fuck is that? And I don't blame you. And then you also have this whole cast of characters with Banner that you might know or you might not know, and that's kind of what's weird in the beginning. But once you get into the groove, once it slows down, once Peter David gets to kind of tell his individual stories here, it really shines. The best part of this whole omnibus for me is kind of the one-shots. Things like Hulk dealing with just a creature of the night who, kills and rapes and does things like that. He deals with that, and you kind of see who the bigger monster is in the end. And when these monsters come out, they see Hulk, and they're not quite up to the challenge of facing such a creature, even though Hulk is depowered in his gray form. He is still very strong, but he's not Green Hulk strong. You also get some really cool crossovers, especially with Wolverine. That's probably my favorite one, where Hulk meets up with Wolverine, and Wolverine's just being like, I'm not a crazy monster like you are, and Hulk just keeps pushing him until Wolverine strikes back. So this is a really great issue. There's also a cool issue with like Sasquatch, or whatever his name is. I think it's his name in here. I'm sorry, I forgot the name. It was one of the earlier issues, but it was really a great tale about being a monster and being okay with who you are, and I really enjoyed that issue too. So this is a big volume. So is it all great? No, I would say the Gray Hulk, which is basically becomes like a mobster for someone in Atlantic City, it is tiring after a while, is the best way I could say. I liked it in the beginning. I thought it was cool. I thought it was funny. And you do get some great one-liners from Peter David's dialogue, but it does get a little bit tiring after a while. Saying that, luckily, by the end, it looks like we might be getting the Green Hulk back pretty soon. But it starts very kind of modern day, just everyday stories with Banner dealing with the Gray Hulk running Atlantic City while also trying to protect this woman, and Banner in the daytime is Banner and Gray Hulk is at night. So it is fun, but it does wear on. It's a little too long for my taste anyway. But I did really like a lot of stuff that they had in this book. Basically, to sum it up, once it goes berserk again or crazy with Hulk going into hell, I jumped back on board. I was into it. So I think Peter David excels at humor here, and also when it's weird and wicked and body horror, all that is really fun. So for that, I really did enjoy my time, but I do have to say I wasn't blown away. Now, I do know that the run gets better, so I'm excited to read my volumes 2, 3, and 4 eventually, and I think 5's coming out next year. But for what it is, I still really enjoyed it. I think it had some really great moments. It just wasn't a home run for me. So I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. I think it's right before great, but it's still a little bit better than just good or decent. I'd say it's right in the middle of those two. But any Hulk fan should pick this up as soon as possible before it goes out of print, if it's not already out of print. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. As always, if you can like, subscribe, leave comments, those are always big things for me. If you picked up these books, let me know what you think of Peter David's Hulk run. Is it the greatest thing you ever read? Is it the worst thing you ever read? I would love to hear back. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed and come back around. More comic stuff, more video game stuff, more rankings, more lists. Everything is coming as promised. Have a good day.